Brexit Britain will be global beacon. Davidson blasts EU and plans to turn Scotland Tory. Ruth Davidson has said that after Brexit Britain will be a beacon to the world for liberalism and free trade. The Scottish Conservative leader set out a patriotic vision of a post-Brexit world where British businesses compete for the highest quality exports instead of a race to the bottom. She also took Michel Barnier and his team of negotiators to task over their intransigent approach to the divorce talks. Speaking to Andrew Marr on the BBC, Ms. Davidson said, "I want an open Brexit. I want for us to be a beacon of liberalism in the world in trade, in attracting the best talent, in shouldering our burden in the world, that we continue to sit in the top seats in the UN and NATO, and we use our soft powers with British cultural exports." Marr pressed her on whether Britain should adopt EU regulatory rules to ensure easy access to European businesses. She responded, "I am a free trader. We have to try to get to a point where British businesses are trading freely with the EU 27 under a free trade agreement. The mechanism, EU or not, does not concern me. It's all about the results. I don't think the regulatory standards is the issue. Here in Britain, we pride ourselves on the best quality exports." The rising star of the Conservative Party also ripped into the Mr. Barnier and other public faces of Brexit talks. She said, "Contrary to the people who come to speak at the podiums and dismiss the efforts, we are making a great deal of progress in the talks. We have been flexible, as you saw in the Florence speech, and frankly, I would like to see some flexibility in return from the EU." Ruth Davidson has called on Theresa May's critics to put up and shut up. The Scottish Conservative leader said the party should get its house in order, back Theresa May, and let her get back to governing. Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has also urged colleagues to get behind the Prime Minister. It comes after ex-party chairman Grant Shapps said about 30 Tory MPs backed his call for a leadership contest. Speaking about the MPs involved in the criticism, Ms. Davidson, who has been tipped as a potential successor to Mrs. May, said the calls were not being led by anyone serious. She told the BBC's Political Thinking podcast, "I have to say I've not got much time for them. I really don't think that having a bit of a cold when you are trying to make a speech changes the fundamentals of whether Theresa May is the right person to lead the country. I think there's an awful lot of people in our party that need to settle down. I think if the plotters were serious, they would be led by someone a bit more serious." The MSP said that her priority was to form a credible alternative government to Nicola Sturgeon's SNP leadership. But she refused to rule out plans to take a seat in Westminster, which would make her eligible to become Conservative Party leader. Ms. Davidson said that the party and the country at large must fall behind Theresa May right now during the precarious Brexit talks. She said the plotters should get back into their box. "We are lucky to work for our country and we should never forget that. It is never about our own private, personal ambition.